All right, everybody. It's about time for us to have our yoga inspired today for our last day of our recovery week. This is going to wrap up our Formatting Frenzy series. So we've had 3 segments of 3 weeks of the same formatting of work, and then we've had these 3 weeks of recovery spliced in between. So we have our 12-week block, and I have to say it's been quite a lot of fun. So with our yoga inspired day, I would challenge you to be barefoot, have some nice music maybe playing in the background. I'm just going to kind of take it as it comes, see what feels like the next best flow, but I am going to try to keep us off of our hands for the most part. So we're definitely going to be on them a little bit, but I know not everybody can be on their hands for a while, and planking puts a lot of pressure that isn't healthy for you in your shoulders and neck. So if that happens, if we come to a position or a pose where we are on our hands or doing a chaturanga or something like that, you can either try hitting your knees, just set up in a child's pose or a downward facing dog if either of those work for you. Hit some cat cow, whatever you feel like you want to do in the moment. That's the fun thing about yoga, is you kind of just go with what feels good. Even in a guided class, your teacher and instructor usually will tell you to stop and do whatever you need to do for your body at whatever given moment. So let's lie on our backs and just set your feet so that they're hip width with your heels right underneath the knees. Set your right hand on your abdomen, your left hand on your chest, and then we're just going to breathe a couple seconds. You don't need to do anything specific except just be aware. Feel your stomach rise and fall, or your chest. Kind of notice where you draw in breath. Appreciate that you can kind of settle your nervous system just by closing your eyes, letting your body rest, be heavy on the ground, and breathing. I would challenge you to try to keep your mouth shut. So you're going to take your inhales and exhales through the nose. See if you can keep your tongue off the roof of your mouth and kind of get a deep guttural back of the throat sound or feeling. All right. Separate your feet a little bit wider so that they're on the edges of your mat. And then put your arms out in a big T. Let both knees drop over to the left. Keep that breath going. Deep inhales and exhales out through your mouth. Take your left foot and place it on top of your right knee, if that feels good for you. Puts a little more pull on that quad and the hip flexor. And then go ahead and release your feet, and we'll flip to the other side. And then take that bottom foot, your right foot, and set it on top of your left knee. All right, release there. And then hug both knees into your chest. So lift your head and shoulders, push that low back into the ground, and then just hug yourself into a nice tight little ball. So I've been talking quite a lot the last few days about self-flexion and building your own personal internal heat, hugging muscle to the bone. So that's a lot of what yoga is about. So I'm going to have you keep your head and shoulders up off the ground, scoop through that belly. So already feel like the pull of that upper body coming up is all grabbed and being performed by your core activating and contracting and pulling you up. So then interlace your hands around your left knee. Your head and shoulders are going to stay up. See if you can pack that low back into the ground and tighten all the way around your core. You're going to extend your right leg straight out in front of you. but it's going to hover off the ground. So your right leg is flexed, your core is flexed, bringing the chest up, and then your left leg is flexed as well. Take a deep inhale, and then with your exhale, you're going to switch the legs. So as you switch, you're using the core to get that movement. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Trying to keep that leg, that foot flexed. One more with your left leg pushing forward. Now take your right leg and extend it straight up. And then just pull the upper body toward that leg. Get a nice little stretch through that hamstring. Take a deep inhale, exhale, and switch those legs. Keep the belly strong. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, and switch. Go with the pace of your breath. Try your best to keep your leg as straight as possible. It's okay if you're a little tighter, not getting the leg as far back. No big deal. Just bring it as far as works for you. All right, last one. All right, rest your head, plant your feet, and just windshield wiper your legs. So to the left and to the right. So the idea behind yoga is to really connect your mind to the body. And it can be difficult sometimes for some of us, especially if our preference is high intensity or hauling and lifting heavy things. But it is really, really effective and helpful to build awareness of the body, to be really mindful of connecting your breath to movement and to holding poses for a bit of time. So let's go ahead and turn over onto our hands and knees, and we're going to start with some cat-cow. So cat-cow is traditionally a yoga movement. So spread those fingertips wide, knees right underneath the hips. Inhale and push your chest forward. Exhale, round through the back. Feel that belly contract upon itself. Pull tight, push and root through your knees and hands. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. And exhale, round. Okay, let's go ahead and hit back into our child's pose. Tuck your feet under, hinge your hips all the way back. Reach your arms really far out in front of you. Let your forehead rest on the ground. We're just going to take a couple deep breaths here. All right, and then we're going to push up into a downward facing dog. So before we just fly into it, feel your back muscles engage. Feel those fingertips spread wide. Grab your abdomen and core. Then with purpose, curl those toes under, push into the hands, drive your hips up and chest back toward your thighs. So let your left knee bend as you push your right heel into the ground. So you should feel a little extra stretch on your right calf and hamstring. Check in and make sure that you're pushing evenly through the hands, driving those shoulder blades down your back, and then grab the core. Bend your right knee and press your left heel toward the ground. Notice how your body may be different side to side, a little more tight, a little more loose, a little more tired. And then plant both heels to push toward the ground. It's okay if you're not getting your heels all the way on the ground. It's okay if you're not getting your knees all the way straight. But keep that booty up in the air and the back super flat, and as always, keep the core active. Grab the belly, slide those shoulder blades down, and then let's take a little bit wider stance. So just take your feet about mat width, and then we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. So if you can keep your legs straight, then I would love that for you to do that. Keep them nice and straight. Take a little forward fold here. Again, if you need to bend your knees, that's totally fine. But I would like for you to try to keep your back flat and the core engaged. All right, go ahead and inhale. Bring your arms all the way up. So you're going to circle around. Arms up nice and high overhead. Slide the shoulder blades down. And then circle your arms down and around and plant them at the heart. All right, so we're going to go into a few kind of traditional type flows, yoga flows. And then again, as I said, if planting onto your hands doesn't work very well for you, then don't worry about it. Just skip the portion of the flow that's going to put you in a plank position or going to make you do a push-up. So we're going to start at the front of our mat. Your stance is super important. So have your feet be level and even. So one foot isn't a little bit wider or open than the other. Both legs are evenly supporting you and you're flexing in through the thighs. So you feel like your legs are rooting into the ground. Pelvis is neutral, core is strong, shoulders back and down. Inhale, bring those arms up. Deep, deep inhale, exhale. Dive over those legs. Remember, we're going to try to keep our mouth shut, but if you need to open it, it's okay. We're going to inhale, come halfway up. So I just want you to plant your hands right above your kneecaps and open the chest. So take a second here to feel back engagement. This is our inhale. Exhale, you're going to plant your hands and then step back, left leg and right. So immediately if you need to drop onto your knees, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you're going to plant here with me. I'm going to hold a plank for just a couple seconds, few breaths. Make it nice and solid. Tucking tailbone, belly strong. Go ahead and drop onto your knees now for me and pull your elbows so they point back at your knees. You're going to drop the chest toward the ground, keeping the belly nice and strong, and then lower all the way down. All right, bring your hands just a little further back behind your shoulders, so kind of right into a bicep, right underneath your biceps. Release your toes, grab your glutes, and then lift the upper body using your back muscles. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, keep the glutes strong. This is your inhale. Exhale, lower down. Okay, then we're going to push up the same way that we dropped down. So again, just skip through this part if it doesn't work for you. Elbows squeeze in, curl the toes under, belly strong, tuck that chin, push back up to your plank. Hold here just a sec. Push those hips back, and then walk your feet up to your hands. All right, so we're going to go through that again, just a teeny bit faster. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, dive over the legs. Belly still strong. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands. Exhale. Plant your hands on the ground. Walk your right leg back and then your left for your plank. Take a deep inhale. And then an exhale. One more inhale. And then drop all the way to the ground, hugging your elbows in tight. If you need to drop onto the knees first, that's fine. Inhale, lift your body up. Flex those glutes. Exhale, lower. Curl the toes, push up. Hold your plank. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Downward facing dog. And then walk your feet back to your hands. All right, we're going to go through it again. This time we're going to add in a jump. So if you don't want to jump, just bring your legs back the way that we have before now. Up at the top, make sure you're not losing your hips. So find your nice, pretty stack, tucking the tailbone, core constantly strong. Dive forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant those hands. If you want to, you're going to jump back and hold support through a high plank. Use the core and jump to where you have a perfect plank. If you do squat thrust, then you're totally fine here. Grab that core, hit up your planks, elbows tuck in, drop all the way down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, tuck the toes, push up, hit your downward facing dog, lift high onto your heels. So your tippy toes are on the ground, your heels are high in the air. Bend your legs until your shins are about parallel to the ground. Core is strong, and then you're going to hop your feet up between the hands, and then come all the way up. Doing great. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant those hands again. I know right now it seems like we've been on those hands a lot. We're going to make it through. Jump back, hold your plank. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. Shoulders over those wrists. On your next exhale, you're going to lower down, but this time try not to stop or try not to lower all the way to the ground. We're going to try and stop halfway, tuck in that tailbone, then curl your toes under and drive your chest up. Still flexing that core, still flexing your glutes, open through the chest. Come back to your chaturanga. So elbows are bent, tuck the tailbone, push up, hold your plank a second. And then exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Up high on those tippy toes, bend your knees a lot. Look where you want to land. Come forward, inhale. Arms all the way up, exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, jump back, hold your plank, solid. Elbows squeeze, chaturanga, and then slide forward. Upward facing dog. Come back to your chaturanga first. Push up, downward facing dog. All right, we're going to start going through some warriors now. So you're going to plant onto that left leg, lift your right leg nice and high in the air, but keep your hips level. So push evenly into both hands, slide the shoulder blades down your back, level off those hips, flex both legs. Deep inhale. With your exhale, you're going to come forward into your plank position. Tuck your knee in toward your chin. Hold just a second, flex the foot, and then plant your foot between the hands. All right, from here, we're just going to stay facing forward, so the back heel is going to stay lifted. Make sure that your hips are squared off and bring your arms straight up overhead. I think this is a crescent lunge, I think. So our goal here is to plant the knee right on top of the ankle and then kind of pull your knee so it's more toward the pinky toe side of the foot. So you should be able to glance down and see your big toe right in front of that knee or inside of that knee. Then you're going to find traction between the front leg and the back foot, the front foot and the back foot. Lift the hands, but then slide the shoulder blades down. Contract the core. Hold with me. Square off those hips. Exhale and bring your arms down around your foot. And then we're going to try to straighten that front leg. All right, so you're going to need to hop your back foot in a little so that you have both heels lined up and your left toes are pointed out at an angle just a teeny bit. Try your best to lengthen, flatten and straighten through your spine. Then, if that right leg's forward, you need to pull that right hip back, left hip forward. Keep straightening through that thigh. Just a nice little hamstring stretch here. And then we're going to try to go into nice little side angle pose. So take your right hand inside the right foot, and then you're going to rotate from your hips and open the left arm up to the ceiling. Grab your thighs so you pull the kneecaps up to your hips. Belly strong. Lots of engagement through the core. Now then rotate your shoulder blades down the back, lifting the head away from the shoulders. Remember, we're trying to hug muscle to bone, flex deep into those legs, the core, and the arms. Strong core. Grab through that right leg. We're going to come all the way up. Straight legs. Woo! A little bit off balance there. That's what we're here for. So now you're standing tall. Arms are extended. You're going to jump this back leg back just a little bit. And then we're going to go into a warrior two. So your back inner arch lines up with the front heel. And then your knee should be stacked right on top of that ankle again on the front leg. Take a second to put your hands down on your hips. and then pull your hips under. So it's like you're looking at your belly button. You're looking at your belly button. So you take a second and pull your head down to look at the belly button. That's going to help align your hips. Then bring those arms back wide. Come back up with the chest. Roll the shoulders down. Then stretch through those arms. Look out over that first finger and then build traction through the legs. See how much heat you can build. Flex through those thighs. Level your breath. Okay, flip your hands so they point up, and then we're going to straighten that front leg with the arms going up overhead. Deep inhale, exhale. Come back down, hold that warrior two. Check in with your core. Flex deep. Think like a warrior. Flip those hands. We're going to do one more time. Inhale. Push up, come to center. Exhale. You're in charge of each movement. Lots of flexion, contraction, but you're calm. Reach out through those fingertips. Open the chest, slide those shoulder blades down. 2 more breaths. All right, pinwheel the arms. So your left arm's going to come forward. The right arm's going to go down. Face that front foot again. But then go ahead and drop the back knee down. And we're going to grab another little quick hamstring stretch before we roll through our flow and hit the other side. All right, come back forward. So your hands are framing your foot. Pick your back knee up off the ground. Find core, and then see if you can get that right leg lifted. Push back up to your 3-legged dog. Make sure those hips are level. Slide the shoulder blades down. Be in control of the core. Shift back forward to your plank. And then we're going to hit our chaturanga. So lower. Hold just a second. Belly strong. And then push. And then down dog again. Both feet on the ground. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees. You're on your tippy toes. And then float forward. Inhale. Come all the way up. I'm going to go back to this side. Exhale. All the way forward. Over those legs. Inhale. Flatten that back. Grab through the core. You're at a halfway lift. Plant those hands. Make sure your core is strong. And then jump back, holding your plank. Couple breaths here. Okay, elbows squeeze in next to your rib cage, lower forward, but not all the way. And then slide onto the tops of your feet. So you get an upward facing dog. And then slide back down. Push up. Find your downward facing dog. Very nice. Okay, now plant onto the right foot. And we're going to lift that left leg high into the air, but just to where you can keep those hips level. Shoulder blades down. Your armpits hollow out. And you never, ever, ever, ever forget that core. Okay, flex deeper into the core. And then pull your knee toward your nose and hinge forward into your plank. Hold there. Flex your foot. And then plant your foot between the hands. We're going to stay here. So level off your hips. Pull that right hip kind of more toward the front. Bring your arms up overhead. So let's check in for our leg, front leg. That knee is right on top of the ankle. You should be able to see your big toe right inside the knee. Find traction between your front foot and back foot. That's going to help scissor off the legs, build heat through there as well. Reach through the hands, but then set the shoulder blades down and then check in with your core. So you want to make sure not to lose that pelvis. Keep it nice and strong, parallel. Nice flexed core. Just a couple more breaths. Bring your hands down around your foot, and then we're going to straighten the front leg and hop the back leg into it. This is a good time to grab blocks, or weights is usually what I use for a block. So if you need to bring the floor up to you, that's totally fine. It can be extremely beneficial to help get you the stretch that you need. So your back foot's on the floor, your heels are lined up, the back toes are at an angle, and then you're going to pull that right hip down toward the ground, and the left hip's going to pull back. Try to lengthen through that back. Level off your breathing a bit. And then let's plant our left fingers or hand inside the left foot and then rotate through. So try to stack your arms, open that chest, pull those kneecaps up toward your thighs. Can you lengthen your back a little more? So reach the crown of the head away from your tailbone. And can you contract that core a little more? And then we're just going to hang here for a bit. Shoulder pulls down away from the ear. All right. Slowly roll that right arm back down. Face back over that leg. And then we're going to set up for our warrior two. So just keep driving that right foot back. You want an inner arch to front heel alignment now. So you're going to try to plant that foot, pulling your toes still at an angle. Bend your left knee so it's right on top of that ankle. And then bring your arms one at a time all the way up. So once you're here, if you need to take some adjustments, it's fine. I think I can get a little more space. Again, that knee should stack right on top of the ankle, and you want to be able to see that big toe right inside the knee. Let's take a second, check in with our core. So pull the pelvis back, tuck the tailbone under, mosquito, they're back. Tuck that core under, open the chest, arms come up so you keep that pelvis neutral as you lift back up. And then let's look out over that left arm, fingertips. Be strong, be steady, stay stacked. Okay, turn your hands. Push through that left leg. Inhale, arms come up overhead. We're still strong. We're still in control. Exhale, come back down. Push into the outer edge of that back foot. Turn your hands. Exhale, press up. Flex through those thighs. Drop back down. Last one. Yoga is definitely a practice for me. It's not something that comes super natural. I need to keep it up. We all do. Keeping the mobility, these twists, turning your body one direction as another part of the body stays still. Okay, pinwheel the arms. Bring your right arm down with the left. Frame the foot, and then go ahead and drop that back knee down. Pull the toes up and get that stretch through that hamstring. Reach your chest toward the toes. All right, hinge back forward, plant your hands. Lift that back leg. Let's see if we can lift the left foot and then use that core. Push it back, keep it up off the ground if you can. So you're in a one-legged plank. Drop through your chaturanga, hold a split second, push back up, and then drive to your downward facing dog. Drive that foot up nice and high, and then drop it down. Level off, drive the chest back toward your legs, slide the shoulder blades down. Drop onto your knees, and then go ahead and just sit back onto your feet for a split second. We're going to try one little fun balance pose. At least I like it. You don't have to do it, or you can take it in pieces. You can stay here. You can go into a child's pose or back into your downward facing dog. But I just like to see if I can get myself balanced and my feet up over my head from time to time. So we're going to plant our hands nice and wide. Again, just come as far as you can go, as far as you feel good with. And we're going to go ahead and put the crown of our head on the ground. So the very top, but then still brace quite a lot of strength in through the hands. So push into the toes and pick your butt up off the ground. And then slowly walk your knees in until they're on your elbows. And see if you can get your feet up off the ground. So obviously this is not a great pose for some of us, so feel free to hit a glute bridge or whatever else. Hold a plank, cat-cow. All right, so if you got to here, you can stay there, or we're going to try to bring the knees up off the arms, tuck them into the chest, pull them together, and then slowly push your legs up toward the ceiling. Whoop, 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 whoop. Find the balance. Find your breath. Core, lots of arms. All right. That's all I held for today. That felt good. So let's go ahead and roll over onto our back real quick. Nice job, everybody. Way to go. Way to have a little fun. Be willing to fall and fail, but just keep trying new things. So pull your left leg into the chest, extend your right leg out on the ground, and then extend your left leg out onto the ground. Pull your right knee into the chest, leave your left leg there, and then push your right leg out onto the ground. All right, spread through the chest, open the arms out, palms up. We started today with breathing. We're going to end today focused on our breathing as well. As you breathe, I'd like for you to scan the body. So start at your toes, and then the balls of your foot, and then your arches, the heels, the ankles. I like to envision little spirals of light and energy, breath and air, circling around as I travel up through the calves, backs of the knees, fronts of the knees, quads, hamstrings, your glutes, deep into the pelvis, your hips, your pelvic floor muscles, core muscles, then the topical abs, obliques, rib cage, chest, lungs, your back, shoulders, relax there. Hold so much tension there. Then down through your biceps, triceps, elbows, forearms, and then your thumbs, the pad where the thumb meets the hand, your palms, your fingers, And then do a little dance with your brain all the way back up the arms. Wrap it around your throat, your neck, under your ears, your jaw, your tongue, your lips and mouth, your nose, under the eyes, beside the eyes, the temples, the forehead, and then the crown of the head. What an amazing body. All right, bring your arms way up overhead. Take a deep inhale, stretch nice and long behind you. Exhale, roll yourself all the way up. Pull the soles of your feet toward one another. Always feels fun. It's good on the body to do something just a little different. If you are inspired to try a few more yoga inspired or type sessions or workouts, please reach out to me. I have some favorite instructors that I like to follow. Twist to one side and then to the other. I am not a yoga instructor. I've taken a lot of yoga, but as you saw today, I don't know all the names for everything. I know there's counter poses and many beneficial things to be had through going into a consistent yoga practice. So I would challenge you to give that a shot. All right, let's cross our ankles, reach your arms forward, see if you can get up without using your hands. We'll take one more forward fold, so reach high overhead, inhale, and then exhale, dive over those legs. And then inhale to come back up. All right, fantastic job. Thank you, thank you. I can't wait to see you for our new series next week.